Hi friends, I may need to share my mat today with this one. Are you going to do yoga with us today, Ed? Oh, he wants to go for a walk. Okay, go on, take a minute. We'll go for a walk afterwards. Welcome friends, it's good to see you today. Hopefully you got my note and you brought a strap or a scarf or maybe a thin older towel would work well. An old necktie, something that you can use for our balances. So if you will, place that next to your mat, and today we're going to play with our balance, but we're going to begin by really grounding. So let's begin by lying down. So when you come to your mat, just like when we come to our seated position, you want to really root. So you feel into even your sits bones, feel into your feet, and come lying down on your back. From here, take a moment to really feel into the surface beneath you, and then extend your legs out, just like beginning with the end, coming into Shavasana. So releasing the weight of your shoulders downward, releasing the weight of your hips and your heels, letting your hands drop open. Soften your face and take a breath or two here. Noticing the flow of breath in and out, gently massaging you from the inside out. So watch the breath, filling and emptying, filling and emptying. Yoke to this flow so that you can take the breath with you throughout the whole practice. Of course, you'll be breathing through the whole practice, but it's this breath, this smooth and flowing, easeful breath that we want to bring with us throughout. One more breath here. And on your next exhalation, just windshield wiper your feet a couple times side to side. And then draw your right knee into your chest and take a hold of your strap or necktie or whatever it is that you have to use. And wrap the strap around the ball of the right foot. Holding on to the strap with your right arm, with your right hand, bend your right elbow slightly, pull the knee in close, and then push the foot into the strap. So I'm applying some tension here. Resting the left hand, rolling the shoulders downward, push the foot up into the strap. Just push, 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 push. Just noticing how that feels, and then soften the knee again, and then push the foot up into the strap. Softening the knee, one more time, push the foot up into the strap. Now adjust your hand hold with that right arm. I've wrapped the strap around the back of my hand, so I have a good hand hold, still with the bent right elbow. You can allow the leg to be wherever it needs to be so that it can be straight. You can keep a micro bend in the knee or keep it very bent. You listen to what works best for your body. And then begin to play with pulling back on the strap to deepen the stretch for the hamstring. You can rock the leg a little side to side or just pull straight back, exploring your way in. Still sinking the shoulders and listening to the body and responding. So once you've found a nice deep stretch here, and that can look different for everybody, right? What's deep for you is not deep for someone else and vice versa. So remember, we remove competition We remove expectation and we remove judgment. So sinking your shoulders, now pull back on the strap, and on your next inhalation, feel free to bend the knee if you need to. Simply open the leg out to the right. And you can adjust the handhold on the strap, letting off the tension if you need to, or bend that knee, listening to the body, staying rooted in the left heel, the left hip, and allowing this right leg to drop out to the right. One more breath here. Now bend your right knee and then push the leg straight. But pushing is a strong word, right? So explore your edge, high edge. And then bend the knee again and straighten the leg. Bend the knee and straighten the leg. When I got out the strap earlier, I think he thought we were going for a W-A-L-K. He got very excited about that. So if someone could order a little bit warmer weather for me, poor dog. On your next exhalation, lift the leg up to the top. Switch hand holds. So take a hold in the left arm. Reach your right arm out along the ground, over to the right, right at shoulder height. So this right arm can act as an anchor. And then on your exhalation, draw the leg across the body. Going only as deeply as feels good to you. So the foot may not come to the ground, and it may in time. Just notice. Let your right shoulder stay down, or encourage it to. It doesn't have to stay flat. If it comes up, that's all right. Just listen to the body. You can think about pressing your foot into the strap and pulling back on the strap at the same time, finding your edge inside of the stretch, and then bend the knee, easy does it, and straighten the leg. Bend the knee and straighten the leg. Bend the knee and straighten the leg. On your next inhalation, let's lift the leg back up to the top. Gently pull back on the strap. Release the strap. Wrap your hands around the thigh, nice and low, and then slide the hands up the leg as far as feels okay to you. And that may be still down low in the thigh. You do you, right? So pull back, and you'll notice I have a micro bend in my knee. Make sure you keep a little micro bend and then play with straightening. You never need to force. On your exhalation, draw your belly button towards your spine, and then come to a little sit-up. You can float that left leg or keep it rooted to the ground. And when you're ready, release the hands from the leg and reach your arms along the floor. Hollowing the belly with each exhalation. One more breath. Exhale, release down. Right leg comes to the ground. Now just notice the right and left leg. Does the right leg feel a little longer? It probably does. Now left leg. So wrap the strap around the ball of the left foot. So we're taking a little time today to get a great stretch in the legs. We'll take some more time to get really grounded. So once you get the strap around this left leg, remember we're holding on with our left hand and easing our way into the stretch. So right, we're all in quarantine. There's no rush. Tell me where I'm wrong. So just be with this stretch today. No rushing. We'll get to some vinyasa, I promise. So root into the right foot, sink the shoulders down, and then just play with getting this leg into a good stretch that feels just right, right at your edge, not anywhere beyond, just right at your edge. And then bend the knee and push the leg straighter. Bend the knee, Push the leg straighter. Once more, bend the knee. Push the leg straighter. On your next inhalation, open the left leg out to the left, still holding on with the bent elbow of that left arm. Your right arm can come out along the ground like an anchor to the right. Root into that right heel. Sink the shoulders down. Soften your face as you play with pulling back on the strap, finding your edge. And then bend the left knee. Press it straight. Just a little micro bend is good. And then straighten. And one more time, bend and straighten. Sinking the shoulders down. Now on your next inhalation, pull back on the strap, finding your edge, and listen to what happens in the body. Where else do you feel the stretch besides just that left hamstring? Maybe in the front of the right groin here, where the leg inserts to the hip. Just notice, that's where it is for me, besides the hamstring. And then on your inhalation, we'll lift the leg up to the top, soften the knee a little, switch hand holds, and then come back into the stretch. Left arm becomes this anchor, and sink your shoulders down, press the leg straight or straighter, no forcing. And then on your inhalation, let's draw the leg over to the right. And exhale. Stay rooted in the right heel. Rooted in the left arm. And breathe down into the belly, noticing this twist. You can think about, if you like, shifting this left hip toward the right heel. You'll get a little bit more stretch in the top side of this left hip. And now you can bend the left knee and press the leg straighter. Bend the left knee, press the leg straighter. And one more time, bend the knee and press the leg straighter. Pulling back on the leg as much as feels good, finding your edge, staying for one more breath here. That was 2. Inhale, lift the leg up to the top, release the strap, wrap the hands around the thigh. And then inhale, slide the hands up, 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 drawing your head and shoulders up along into a little sit-up and finding your edge here inside of the stretch. Hollowing the belly on the exhales. Bending the elbow. Maybe your belly doesn't hollow as much as it used to, like mine too. I've enjoyed a few treats during quarantine. How many of us are baking? And when you're ready, we're going to release the arms alongside the hips. Staying in a little sit-up. You can root that right leg or float it, your choice. One more breath. And coming down. Draw the knees into the chest and just take a rocking side to side. Some massage for the back. Your back that may be now sitting in different positions than usual. Maybe it has some extra fatigue. You can just make some circles with the knees in both directions. And then let's rock and roll up. So cross your ankles over and take a hold of, this is one of those times when you'd be glad if you're not wearing a hoodie or have a zipper or buttons on your back, or some really intricate straps, because when we roll on our spine, we can feel all of that. So pull the legs towards you by holding on to the long edges of the feet. Elbows come out to the side, tuck your chin in toward your chest for a moment, and then begin to rock by pulling the feet up over the head and then down, away from you. Just enjoy this spinal warming. One more maybe, and see if you can come up to balanced. There it is. Unwind, take a hold of the toes, the big toes, and open the legs. I made the mistake of doing this one facing the camera for another class, and of course this is the thumbnail that was chosen by the algorithm to be the cover photo. I'm like, why can't I change that? So, needless to say, you never know what you're going to get. Let the thighs drop out a little farther. Good job balancing. Feel that balance. And then when you're ready, draw the soles of the feet together and let it pull you into a fold inside of cobbler. So soles of feet together, still holding on around the big toes or the ankles, whatever feels good. Now lengthen the spine, elbows draw back toward the waist, heart pulls forward, shoulders draw away from the ears. One more breath. And then on your inhalation, come up. We'll draw the knees together. Ankles cross, we'll roll through to table pose. So still playing with our balance. Root the hands, root the knees. So rock a little bit side to side. Nice flat back, head in line with spine. So when I'm talking to you, I turn to see my head's lifted. But if you keep your head in line with spine, think about where your tailbone is and the crown of your head. One line of energy. So right arm lifts, left leg lifts. Spinal extension. Reach out through the right fingertips and then draw your right shoulder back into your torso. It's easy to reach forward and pull it a little too far forward, so draw it back, squaring off. And then on your exhalation, let's draw everything in toward the midline, rounding the back, hugging that knee in. Inhale, extend. Exhale, squeeze it in. Inhale, extend. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Reach and squeeze, holding in, wrapping that right hand around the bottom of the front of the left shin. Hug it in with your head curl in toward your knee. And then on your exhalation, release that knee down. Come back into table pose. Rock your weight a little side to side if needed. And we'll extend our left hand forward, right leg back. Find the balance here. Reaching forward, then draw that shoulder back slightly, plugging it in. On your exhalation, draw the knee in toward the nose, hugging it in. Inhale, extend. Exhale, round. Inhale, extend. Exhale, round. Inhale. Exhale. Continue a few more. And then on this last one, we'll wrap the left hand around the shin, hug it in. And release. So from here, walk your hands about 3 or 4 inches forward, turn the toes under, and rise up into downward dog. Releasing all the weight of the head. Sinking the heels, then let's pedal out some tension in the legs, bend your right knee deeply, sink the left heel and pause for a moment. Inhale up high onto the tippy toes, exhale, sink the heels. Inhale, bend both knees. Press your torso back toward your thighs. Broaden the tops of your shoulders. Maybe softening your elbows a little bit. And then press your thighs straight. Straight back toward the wall behind you. Now bend your left knee. Sink the right heel. Pause with it for a moment. Inhale up high onto the tippy toes, and exhale, sink the heels. Bending the knees deeply, press into your hands like you're holding down your mat in a windstorm. Now, think about two gentle hands pulling your thighs back toward the wall behind you to straighten your legs. On your next exhalation, let's look up between the hands, step, hop, or float up to standing forward bend. Releasing the weight of the spine. Soften your knees. And now look at your feet. Press your hands over your feet like they're roots. So bend your knees as much as you need to get down here. And press the hands over the feet. Releasing the weight of the head. Really press down in the hands. And feel some rooting down from the toes to the heels. You can rock a little side to side, feeling into this grounding of the feet. And now bend your knees a lot. Release the hands from the feet and come up into a nice deep chair pose. Utkatasana. Peeking down, of course, we can still see our toes in front of our knees. Our thighs are parallel and we're sitting down deep. Biceps are alongside ears, and on your inhalation, we'll sweep the arms to the sides, to circle, to the heart, thumbs to sternum, standing tall. One more breath here. Remembering your intention. On your inhalation, just rock your weight a little side to side, feeling into this rootedness of the feet. So if you press down into your feet, soften your knees just a little, and pull the floor apart between the feet. You'll feel some muscles in the legs, upper legs engage, maybe all the way up to the hips. Just notice what you feel. And really rooted now in the feet, stop the pressing or pulling the floor apart between the feet and straighten the legs. Stand tall. Just rock your weight a little side to side. And then bend your knees again, press down into the feet, push the floor together between the feet. Getting really, really grounded. And then straighten the legs. Sweep the fingertips along the ground again, chair, and let's flow. From chair pose, forward fold, inhaling, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, plank. Exhale, lower half. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale the right leg into the sky. Bend the knee and stack the hip. Root equally into both hands. Let go of the weight of your head. Sinking that left heel even more. Lifting the right knee even more. Maybe just staying inside of your edge. One more breath. Now straighten the right leg and sweep the right foot up between the hands. From here, in the lunge, let's draw our left knee to the ground, rise up in a low lunge, reach up through the fingertips, lean back, add the little back bend. And sweep the hands back to the ground. From here, lift the left knee, and we'll root into our hands, lift the left leg off the ground, coming into an L shape. So our left leg is parallel to the earth, lifted, and we're rooted into that right leg. Torso is draping toward the right thigh. So once you come to this L shape, just hold it for one more breath. Curl that left knee in toward the nose and extend. Curl it in and extend. Curl it in and extend. Just one more. Tuck it in and extend. From here, let's draw the left foot next to the right. Just notice the rooting of that right foot and rock your weight a little side to side and standing forward bend. Inhale, chair. Exhale, mountain. Remember your intention. Sweep the fingertips along the ground, chair. And on your next exhalation, we'll dive right in, standing forward bend. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhaling, step back to plank. Now, we're going to add a couple push-ups here, so feel free to skip them if you like. We're going to get a little warmer, so shift forward on the toes, lower halfway. Inhale, press to the top. Lower with breath. Inhale, rise. Lower and rise. A couple more. But only if you want to. Lowering half, then lift the heart to upward dog and downward dog. If you need a break, remember you can always go to child's pose. Or just take a sit and a breath. So inside of your downward facing dog, let's send the left leg high into the sky and bend the knee and stack the hip. Sink the right heel. Rooted in both hands. Releasing all the weight of the head. Breathe down into the belly. Fill the whole body with fresh and flowing oxygen. Lift that knee just a little higher. Sink down into the right foot a little bit more. And then inhale, straighten the left leg. Draw the left foot up between the hands. Right knee comes to the ground, and we rise in the low lunge. Once we get here, we'll lift up through the fingertips, maybe playing with the little back bend. Doesn't have to be a deep one, just come to your edge. On your inhalation, sweep the hands back to the ground, and we'll lift the right knee, plant the hands, lift the right leg into that L shape. Releasing all the weight of the head, pausing here, staying rooted in the hands, let your torso drape toward this standing leg. So the more we can let go of the weight of our head, the more this will act like traction for the spine. So gravity works on us, right? Compressing all the spaces between the spine. So this is one of the great reasons for inversions. Just to reverse all of that. So, one more breath here. And now curl the knee toward the nose and extend. Press it out. Curl it in and extend. Curl it in and extend. Just one more. Tuck it in and extend. Now draw that right foot next door to the left, coming to standing forward bend, checking in with how grounded that left foot especially feels. Just notice. Inhale, chair. Exhale, mountain. Thumbs to sternum. Remembering your intention. And on your next exhalation, sweep the fingertips along the ground, chair, and dive in, standing forward bend. Step back to plank. And from your plank pose, lower half. Inhale, upward dog, and exhale, downward dog. Right leg reaches to the sky. Sink the left heel. Reach those toes up, up, up toward the ceiling. And sink the left heel even more. Sweep the right foot up between the hands. Stay on the ball of the back foot, rising in crescent pose. So we're in a balance. You see that back heel is off the ground, so we're already inside of a balance. So listen to your body. Make any adjustment necessary. Sometimes it feels good to bend that back knee to protect the low back. Listen to your body. No forcing that leg straight if it doesn't need to be. And inside of your crescent pose, reach up, root down. Float your hands to your heart. And then spin that back heel down, opening into warrior two. Remember, we can see our big toe on the inside of this front knee. Arms are parallel with the earth. This right thigh is coming toward parallel with the earth, but of course, it could be anywhere behind. Make sure this knee doesn't come past the ankle. Okay? Got it. Root down into the long edge of the back foot. One more breath, you got it. Straighten that right leg. And let's cartwheel the hands back around the right foot, coming into a lunge. Pop up onto the ball of the back foot. We'll step back to plank. And from plank pose, let's take some push-ups, only if you like, or just hang out at the top of plank. That's enough work sometimes. Shifting forward, lower half. Inhale to the top. Exhale. Inhale and exhale. Rising. One more. And the next time you lower, reach your heart forward to upward dog. And downward dog. The left leg reaches to the sky. Sink the right heel. Reach it higher. Stay inside of your edge. And sweep that left foot up between the hands. Staying on the ball of the back foot, back into crescent pose. One more breath. Now sink the hands to the heart and then begin to spin that right heel down and open into warrior two. Gazing over the left fingertips. Remember, we can still see the big toe on the inside of that front knee. I cue that all the time because it's really easy to get lazy there with this front thigh. So root down in the feet, find your edge. One more breath. Straighten the front leg. Take some pressure off. And then cartwheel the hands back into the lunge. And from the lunge, plank. Do we have a couple more push-ups in us? Let's see. Shift forward, lower half. Inhale. Exhale. And shift back to downward dog. From your downward facing dog, release the weight of the heels, release the weight of the head. One more breath. And on your next exhalation, let's peek up between the hands, step, hop, or float up to standing forward bend. And just hold your elbows for a moment. Sweep fingertips along the ground, chair pose. Press the air away, float hands to heart center, thumbs to sternum. Stand tall and breathe. Remembering your intention. And on your next exhalation, let's find our strap. Find your strap, and we'll take the strap and wrap it around the ball of the right foot. Holding on with your right hand, just like we did when we were lying down. So before we get here, let's just go ahead and drop the strap for a moment. It's wrapped, but it's there, it's ready. Inhale, arms up. Now sink into chair pose. So rooting down, feel the energy of the weight of your body moving down into your feet. Lift your toes, spread them wide, and then forward fold. Bringing the hands back over the feet. Bend the knees as much as you need to be here, and press down with the hands, rooting down in the feet. From here, take a hold of that strap around the right foot, staying rooted in the feet. Press down as you rise up with bent knees, taking your time to come all the way up. So once you've come back to standing, hold on to the strap with a bent right elbow, root into your left foot, roll the shoulders broad, lift the right foot. Find a focal point, something that is not moving, that you can set your gaze on. Maybe straighten the leg a little bit or all the way, you decide. Use your left arm in whatever way you need to for counterbalance. Standing tall, when you're ready, inhale, open the leg to the right. Find your edge. Inhale the leg back to center. Bring your left hand to the strap. Remove your right hand. You can drum your fingers a little, they might be tired. And gently draw the leg across the body. Gently. Take your time. Finding your edge. And then, when you're ready, gently bring it back to center and release. So now pedal out the tension in the legs. I think this is really fun. Call me crazy. I'm not sure why I love this pose, but it's fun. It's not always graceful. It can be kind of wonky, but it's fun. So bring your two fists now and just give this left leg some love. It worked hard. You can give it a little pat, love taps, wherever it feels just right to you. And wrap the strap around the ball of the left foot. And then drop the strap to the side. Hands root over the feet once more. Bend the knees as much as you need to, letting go of all the weight of the head. Root down in the feet. Press down in the hands. And then, when you're ready, begin to gently come up, keeping the knees a little bent, holding onto the strap with the left hand, rolling up one vertebra at a time. Coming up to standing. Now rooted into the right foot, standing tall, using this right arm in whatever way you need. Now, root into the right foot, lift the left leg. Find that focal point to set your gaze. Bend in the left elbow and find your balance. Straighten the leg, adjust the hand hold if necessary. Find your edge here, just lifting the leg to straight, finding your stretch, listening to the body as you go. Next inhalation, let's open. Next exhalation, let's see if we can gently, easy does it, bring it back to center. Bringing your right hand around to take over from the left. Drum those left fingertips. Using the left arm however you need, draw the leg across the body. Find your edge. Stay with your focal point. And then, gentle, steady as she goes, come back to center. Release the strap and bring the foot back to the ground. This for the right leg. And release the weight of the torso toward the earth. So, on your next exhale, root the hands, step back to plank. Head in line with spine, knees can be down if you need to. Rooted in the hands. Stay for one more breath. And then we'll shift forward on the toes, lower half, press to the top, and lower, rise, and lower, rise, and lower. One more, rise, and lower. Lift the heart, upward dog. Roll through toes, downward facing dog. Right leg in the sky. Bend the knee and stack the hip. Sink the left heel. Straighten the right leg. Draw the right foot up between the hands. Heel and toe your right foot over to the left hand. Lay the shin down and allow this left foot to come around as far as feels just right to you. No forcing. And then the left knee can come to the earth. Press into the hands. Lengthen through the crown of the head. You can keep those back toes tucked or not, your choice. Listen to your body and see what it needs. Top of pigeon here. So stay for a moment. We often want to rush our way into the juicy folded part of this pose, but it can feel good to allow some time and space inside of all of the phases of it. So think about where your right knee is and your left knee, and then drag them toward each other slightly. You'll rise up just a little bit, but it will also square your hips a little more.
Now on your next exhalation, begin to allow your torso to fold forward, keeping your heart reaching forward rather than simply rounding down. Keep a nice long spine, coming to your forearms, staying inside that long torso, and then sinking down, down. When you're ready, to flat, or to fists, or to forearms. Listening to the body, knowing if you need to back off from the pose or if you can allow it to deepen itself with this time spent here. And on your next exhalation, press into your hands, rising up, slow motion. And from here, let's place our right hand in the center and lift our left foot off the ground. Now, it may not come off the ground. A lot of the time, this left foot wants to stay glued down and won't lift up past, even lift off the floor. So be patient with yourself, compassionate with yourself if that's the case. You can also sit down and use your strap if you need to. But if you can get a hold of it, just get a hold of it. Look at it back there, make sure you see where it is to do so. And then press into your front hand. Turn your gaze back toward the front. Move your right hand over to the right side. Some of you will want to reach back with both hands and take a hold of the foot. And some of you won't. You do you, right? So just get into the stretch. Be with it. And some of you will want to play with your balance, lifting your right hand, moving your heart toward that hand energetically. And when you're ready, release. Sit down on your right hip. Spin the left leg all the way around to the outside. So the left foot lands in the outside of the right thigh, rooting down. Then think about giving this left hip a moment to sink downward. Sit up tall. Wrap your right elbow around your left knee. And left hand comes behind. Hug that knee, that left knee in the right elbow. Pull. By clasping here with this right elbow, you can pull the knee toward the toes. It doesn't really move, but it's an energetic depth for the stretch. So it's nice and tall. Gaze over the left shoulder. You can let your eyes go even farther. Don't force your neck ever. One more breath. Turn your gaze back over the right shoulder. Gentle with the neck. And back to center. Pick up this left leg, send it behind, and press into your hands. Step your right foot back into plank pose. How about some push-ups? Shifting forward, lower half. Inhale to the top. Exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, exhale. One more. And as you lower, lift the heart forward, upward dog, and downward dog. Release all the weight of the head. Sink the heels. And left leg in the sky. Bend the knee and stack the hips. Sink the right heel. Straighten the left leg. Draw the left foot up between the hands and then heel and toe the left foot over to the right hand. Lay the shin down. Let that foot come around as far as it needs to. Sink onto the right knee. Again, toes tucked or not, your choice. Press into the hands, lengthen through the crown, roll the shoulders back. Explore this top side of pigeon. Drag the knees toward each other. Everybody loves the folded part, or maybe not everybody, but a lot of people love the folded part. Allow this stretch for a moment. Dragging the knees toward each other. One more time. Notice this length in your front body from the pubis to the forehead, and then keep that length as you fold forward, coming to forearms or fists, and eventually coming to your depth in the pose, and enjoying the breath here. Notice the sensations in the body. And then gently press into your hands, rising up, root down, lifting the heart once more. Now this time, left hand comes to center, right hand comes around behind. Maybe lift that left, what is that, your right foot? And hold on, maybe not. So turn your gaze back to center, move the left hand to the outside of the left leg, squaring your torso forward toward the short edge of the mat. And again, maybe some of you will want to reach back with both hands and take a hold of the foot. Maybe not. Maybe you'll want to just stay here inside of this version of the stretch. You decide. Maybe you'll want to play with your balance, lifting your left hand. And float it back. Let go of the right leg. Sit down on the left hip. Swing the right foot around to the outside of the left leg. Rooting the right foot. So remember, if it torques to the side, you've got to be on the side of the foot. Bring the foot to the inside of the right shin instead of the outside. Actually, left shin instead of the outside of the left thigh. Wrapping left elbow around right knee. Right hand sweeps behind, rooting into the earth. Turn, turn, turn into the twist. Looking over the right shoulder gently, let your eyes go farther. And now turn your gaze over your left shoulder gently, gently. And finally, release. Come lying down on your back, headed towards Shavasana. Draw the knees into the chest at first and take a rocking side to side. Let the thighs drop out to the side and gently reach your hands toward the long edges of your feet. You can use a strap for this if they don't reach. We have one today. And elbows are on the inside of the knees, happy baby. Just drum your fingers along the outer edges of your feet, lengthen the back of your neck, and you can rock a little side to side. Pausing in happy baby. Enjoy some smooth, deep and flowing breaths. And then draw the soles of the feet together. Bring the sides of the feet to the ground for reclined cobbler's pose. Hands, one hand on the heart, one hand on the belly. Let your elbows come to the earth. And once you've arrived in this reclined cobbler's pose, take a deep breath in through your nose and a sigh. Gently press the soles of your feet together. Maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit more. And just see where you are with that. Adding some tension to the legs. And then on your next exhalation, soften that tension. Just notice how good it feels to let go of tension. Let your hands drop out to the side. Let your legs lengthen along the ground. And as always, if you have any low back issues, just keep your knees bent. Heel and toe your feet apart. Let your knees drop together. If not, send the legs out straight along the ground. Let the feet drop open. Let the hands drop open. And begin to be with the breath again, just like we were in the beginning. Watching it flow in, watching it flow out. Feeling into the foundation that you're resting on, from the heels, through the legs and the hips and the buttocks, the shoulders, the back. It's just feeling into the surface. Letting go more deeply. Soften the face. Swallow to relax the root of the tongue. Let go of the throat and shoulders, arms, hands, and fingers. Soften the chest, the solar plexus, and the belly. See if there's more to let go of in the hips, the legs, the feet, and the toes. Surrender completely.
Gently draw in a smooth, long, deep breath, filling the whole body, and sigh it out through the mouth. Bend the knees, feet to the floor. Drop your legs side to side a few times. And the next time the knees come over to your right, bring your arm along with you, your top arm. Place that right arm beneath your ear like a pillow and rest for a moment. Bring to mind something that you're grateful for. Appreciate it deeply. And then press into your top hand and rise up to a comfortable seated position, keeping your eyes closed if possible. Sitting tall. Take a deep breath in. Allow your chin to draw towards your chest. Ease your eyes open. Place both hands over your heart, recognizing the divine dwelling in you. And then release the arms down to go up, circling, floating hands back around to your own heart. And so namaste, for our purposes, means that the divine in me recognizes, bows to, or sees the divine in you. So let's bow together across cyberspace, across the world, and say, namaste. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. It means so much to me to receive your notes, excuse me, and your thank yous. And frankly, just to know that you're practicing with me. If many of you asked how you can send a donation to my work, and if you like, you can. I will place the link in the comments or the information. And also remember my podcast, Gratitude Sandwich. Some episodes got pulled back for some technical difficulties, but more will be dropping on Monday or sooner. I'm not sure. I have someone helping me with that, thankfully. So if you want to be a guest on my podcast, please send me an email. Just put a note in the comments here or an inbox. I would be so happy to have you as a guest on my podcast. And if you need somebody to listen right now, I'm life coaching still for many people. So feel free to take advantage of my Pay What You Can right now for life coaching. So thank you so much. I'm also working on a project I'm calling Bring Your Own Husband. We all have these men, I think, or a spouse. It can be any spouse. It can be your significant other. It could be maybe a teen. I have to retrofit some of the wording. But somebody who isn't very flexible, that you would like them to enjoy the same good feeling that you get from practicing yoga. And I'm working on a 3-part series for that. So there'll be more information coming about that too. Again, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. See you next time, Tuesdays and Thursdays at 9:45. All the best, friends. All the best.